Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. I'm Matt, that's Alonso. Alonso, please tell us about the box office this past weekend.
Well, Jumanji has finally got knocked down to second place after a very lengthy run at number one, thanks to Maze Runner: The Death Cure, of all things. But let's not read too much into that. YA is not back. It's January, and Jumanji's been out for like 5 or 6 weeks, and this movie made $7 million less on its opening weekend than the previous Maze Runner. So yeah, it's pretty much right. So the genre's still dead, but well done, Death Cure.
Yeah, 23 million or so for Maze Runner. Jumanji came in at about 16.5 million. First 5 weeks, I think it was at number one.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Hostels expand to wide release, rounding out the top three, comes in at $10 million.
Yeah, which is interesting because I think, I would say this was pretty definitely designed to be an expansion, that was meant to capitalize on its Academy Award nominations, and that it didn't get any Academy Award nominations, but it did well anyway. So, there's more than one way to sell a movie. So even with no love from the Academy, they did find the audience for that movie.
Yes,
so.
The opposite of this movie still continues to do well. The Greatest Showman, they have continued that. So speaking of more than one way to sell a movie,
right.
Sing-alongs.
True, and I will say this, like for all the IP and things that Disney is getting out of the Fox deal, like Fox is on a roll here. They had 59% of the weekend box office between Maze Runner, Greatest Showman, and then Shape of Water and 3 Billboards getting some Oscar play, and I think one other one. Yeah, they are definitely and The Post, that's theirs too. Right. So they are an attractive thing to be acquired.
12 Strong came in at number 6. You mentioned The Post, that was at number 5. Den of Thieves is at number 7 this week. $8 million. That brings its total for 2 weeks, to $28 million. I'm pushing that we review this.
I haven't seen it yet, but for a Gerard Butler January release.
How bad could it be?
Well, it could be very bad, but I've been reading some actually okay reviews. As long as you're okay with the fact that it's essentially a Week T remake of Heat. That's what I'm hearing.
So not so hot. Less hot.
Lukewarm.
Yeah, lukewarm. What else in the top 10? Shape of Water, number 8. Paddington 2 at number 9. And then an Indian film at number 10.
Padmavat.
Bringing in $4.2 million only on 320 IMAX screens.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I have not seen this one yet. A lot of people on my Facebook feed were checking it out this weekend. Apparently very controversial in India. And I think has some sequences where you're not quite sure if any animals were harmed in the production of this film. I don't know the deal there. Don't at me on this, but you can Google it and find out why people in India have been getting mad about it. But it is now the all-time record for the largest Bollywood opening in the United States.
That's disturbing for a variety of reasons. A, that it only took 324
screens. Well, a lot of them were IMAX screens, so that's going to be that's a little more.
But still, like $4.2 million, like that bar is set low for an Indian film to come over here and blow everyone away.
Well, it's it is outside of Indian Americans and hardcore cinephiles. There really hasn't been like a Bollywood Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon yet. A sort of crossover movie that gets out of the usual audiences that go to these movies.
First of all, it would be a dancing dragon. And second of all, regarding the controversy in this film, I for one hope animals were harmed for this movie because I hate animals.
Oh, stop. They are delicious, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it is the January box office. Yeah. But I think the interesting thing here is that as much as we have to remind ourselves every year, the Academy Awards exist to sell movie tickets, and they do.
Right.
Even like Coco and Call Me by Your Name had a bit of a push, but yeah, especially the ones that we mentioned in the top 10, the Post, The Shape of Water, but also 3 Billboards, I, Tonya, Phantom Thread, Darkest Hour, and Lady Bird all got a little oomph. Lady Bird is now A24's highest grossing release.
Ever?
Apparently so. They're They've been around for like 3 years or something. They're pretty new.
What's opening this weekend? Winchester.
Which they're not showing to critics. But
Yes.
it's Super Bowl weekend though.
Oh, right. This is the point where I get to gloat because I'm going tomorrow night to see a movie that may or may not be a new Marvel movie that doesn't open for a couple weeks.
Oh, I'm seeing that tonight.
Ah! Well, you get to gloat more than me.
Yes.
You're seeing that tonight? I didn't even get invited to that one.
Tonight's the premiere.
Oh.
And I'm fancy that way.
See, that happened with me with Star Wars. I left Rotten Tomatoes. I don't get invited to the cool parties
That's
anymore.
true. Yeah, you are a B-lister now.
I'm not. I wish I could get on the B list.
That's true.
down to like
If I'm
F-list.
lucky, I'm a B-lister. But
the F-list.
yeah, and generally I don't like going to premieres. They tend to be a pain in the ass. But I have to say, Disney knows how to throw them. So theirs I will go to. All right. So yeah, probably I'm sure the Super Bowl will put a dent in box office this weekend. They're already sort of worried that Hostels is going to drop because most of their audience is males 25 plus, and those guys are going to be watching television. So
Right, because there's nothing to do all weekend.
exactly.
But
Well,
watch
there's
the
all
Super
the
Bowl.
pre-show explanation clip. I don't
Friday,
fucking know.
Saturday. It's a whole Super Bowl thing.
I will be watching a 5-hour Japanese movie on Super Bowl Sunday and eating Rotel dip. So there you go.
Nice.